Welcome and study with Tanzania Institute of Education.
Many mixtures contain useful substances mixed together. These mixtures can be separated to obtain the pure components in them. Here, we have got one of the methods by which we can separate a given type of mixture. The aim of this experiment is to separate a type of mixture called the suspension. In this mixture, the components are chalk and water. They have been mixed. You can see we can mix them and form the mixture we shall separate. You shall need the following apparatus: a pestle and mortar, 2 beakers, a filter funnel, filter paper, a conical flask, and a glass rod. Here is a mixture of chalk and water which forms a suspension. You can see. A suspension is a mixture where the solid material does not dissolve in the solvent. And you can see the chalk does not dissolve in the water. It's not only chalk which can form a suspension, also clay in water will form a suspension. Now, a suspension can be separated by allowing it to settle. By allowing, if this is allowed it's allowed to stay for some time, a suspension usually settles. Now, not every solid will settle. Because not every solid will settle, we can use a method called decantation to try to separate the solid material from the liquid part. The first step in separating this mixture is to carry out decantation. Decantation is the separation of the liquid from the solid, just to reduce the amount of solid so that it doesn't block on the filter paper. You have this glass rod. You'll have to place it on the mouth of the beaker and direct the liquid in the mixture to separate from the solid to get a mixture which has less solid. This glass rod helps it to direct the liquid into the beaker without spilling off. You will have enough of the suspension which does not contain a lot of solid. Now, the remaining solid in this suspension can be separated using a filter paper. The first step in using the filter paper is to fold it 2 times. This is the first fold. According to the size of the filter funnel I will have to fold it at the second time to get a 1/4 size. Next step is to open this filter paper so that you get a cone. Then you carefully fix the cone on the filter funnel and attach it there slowly using the mixture so that they hold together. Now the filter paper has started working. It is filtering the suspension. This mixture is called a suspension. As we introduce the suspension on the filter paper, there is a bit of stirring, and then I start the process of filtration, adding carefully the suspension on the filter paper. Again, I use the glass rod. You have to be careful that the mixture does not go on the sides of the filter paper. It must go exactly at the center so that it is filled up. Otherwise, if it goes on the sides of the filter paper, it will get into the filtrate unfiltered. The clear liquid you are getting in the conical flask is called a filtrate, and the solid material which shall remain on the filter paper is called the residue. You can see that we have been able to separate this suspension, and you can see the color of the suspension, a lot of solid material suspended. You can see that you have separated the solid material which was in the suspension into almost a pure component of the mixture, which is water. The importance of decantation before doing the filtration is that you will get less and less residue on the filter paper. If you don't decant, you will get plenty of the residue on the filter paper, and unfortunately some of the solid may penetrate into the filtrate. Now that we have decanted before doing the actual filtration, we have only a small amount of solid remaining on the filter paper. If you don't decant a suspension like this way, you will get a lot of solid material suspended in the liquid, and then you pour it there. What you will discover is it will take a lot of time, and there are bigger chances that some of the solid material might go into the filtrate. That has been taken care of by decantation, where you reduce most of the solid material before doing the filtration. It is possible to separate a mixture which forms a suspension to the pure components, which are the solid and the liquid.
Study, be educated, elimu ni kazi. Elimu ni kazi. Learn, let's study, be educated,